Hello.
Welcome aboard the UC Vigilance. Did you have any questions before I escort you to the commander? Yeah, listen to him carefully. The commander's a one-and-done kind of officer. In other words, he hates to repeat himself. Other than that, just observe standard military decorum, and it should keep you from serving any time on the ship's cleaning detail. I'm not authorized to divulge information about this vessel. Suffice to say, it's one of the toughest ships in the UC's arsenal. Understood? If you'd follow me, please. So, you're the vanguard that took
Captain,
down that terramorph on Tau City.
Pleasant to see you.
Quite an impression around here. Everyone upstairs is talking about it. Damn. That must have been one hell of a firefight. I almost regret missing out on all the fun. Of course, we don't normally see that kind of action on the Vigilance, but we have our moments.
Hello. I am satisfied to see that you survived your most recent sleep cycle.
Ikande's on level 2. Try not to touch anything until he actually clears you.
All right, Vanguard. Take the lift up to Ops. Commander Ikande should be waiting for you. Good luck.
Yes, what? Do what Commander Ikande says, and you'll go far. Pardon.
I believe we have something important to discuss. Ah, there you are. Commander Kibwe Ikande, UC SysDev. Glad to have you aboard. I was beginning to think you were having second thoughts about Commander Tuala's offer. UC SysDev is a division of the UC Navy. While they handle big picture stuff, we deal specifically with pirates. Since you're already involved with the Vanguard, I don't have to underline how important your contribution will be to the security of our spaceways. It appears he's certainly picked the right person for the job. So, now that you're part of the team, allow me to introduce you to your new home. This is the Operations Center of the UC Vigilance, SysDev's nerve center dedicated to the destruction of the Crimson Fleet. That's strange. According to your file, you've encountered them before. On Vectera, specifically. They were the pirates that attacked your mining outpost? I'm surprised you don't remember. Whether this ship is impressive or not, you're the key element that we've been lacking. We need eyes and ears inside the Crimson Fleet. Someone who can feed us information, evidence, and expose their weaknesses. The catch is that you can't just knock on their front door and ask for an application. Getting inside is going to take some finesse. Good. I have just the right place for you to start. Our intelligence has managed to find a possible opening into the Crimson Fleet through Saoirse Bowden, one of their contacts. She works for the Trade Authority in Sidonia, So you'll be using a container of Aurora we've loaded on your ship to get her attention. Aurora is a Class A controlled substance that's illegal to transport outside of Neon, a city on Volii. Get caught with this stuff aboard a ship, and you're looking at some serious fines. That's right. So it'll be your job to convince this person that you're the real deal. Once you bluff your way into the Crimson Fleet, then the operation proceeds to evidence gathering. That's where my second-in-command, Lieutenant Gillian Toft, comes into the picture. She'll explain everything you need to know. Let's just say my superiors need proof that engaging the Crimson Fleet is a larger priority than they're willing to admit. If we shove enough concrete evidence under their noses, they'll have no choice but to allocate the resources that I've requested. At the same time, we can use the evidence to arrest members of the Crimson Fleet, weakening them enough to strike a fatal blow. If I didn't have confidence in your abilities, I would have told Commander Tuala to send someone else. Remember, this entire operation rests on your ability to infiltrate the Crimson Fleet and bring us the evidence we need to take them down. I wouldn't expect any less. Look, before you begin, I want to make something perfectly clear. As an undercover operative for UC SysDef, you'll be expected to follow our code of conduct and ethics. Allow yourself to stray too far off the path, and you stand a good chance of spiraling out of control. To put it simply, you can't go into every situation with guns blazing. Think before you act. Calculate what you're doing and pull the trigger only when it's absolutely necessary. At the end of the day, your primary goal is taking down the Crimson Fleet. That's the greater good. That's what I wanted to hear. Anyway, it's time to hand you over to Lieutenant Toft. She'll brief you about the details of the evidence-gathering portion of the operation. Now, get out of here, and good luck. For your own safety, nobody but myself and the crew of the Vigilance will be aware that you're working for the United Colonies. Basically, if you land in jail, you're going to have to deal with the fines. All we know is that she's been with the Trade Authority for years, which means she's been privy to some seriously shady deals. She's shrewd and she's diligent. The only reason we were able to connect her with the Crimson Fleet at all was thanks to an informant. I'm afraid she's the best lead we've got. While you're running with the Crimson Fleet, you're undoubtedly going to be faced with some morally gray decisions. It's going to be difficult for you to weigh the consequences of pulling the trigger while maintaining your cover. Do what you have to do, but remember why you're out there in the first place. I'm not advocating violence. I'm merely urging you to weigh the consequences before you open fire. Look, I can see that you're struggling with this. So let me simplify this for you. If there's a route to your goal which doesn't involve killing innocent people, I'm urging you to follow that path. Use your instincts. I'm certain you'll do the right thing. That's easy to answer. You don't. We'll be monitoring your activities from the Vigilance and attempting to keep it within your vicinity. When you feel you've gathered enough evidence, and at the completion of your assignments, head back here for a debrief. Beyond that, you're completely on your own. As you were.
All right, we don't have a lot of time, so I need you to listen up. While you're working undercover, it's imperative that you gather as much evidence as possible. If you find any records that look suspicious or incriminating, you bring it to me. Is that understood? Well, since it isn't every day we stumble across a criminal's fully written confession, we need to build a case against our suspects. The more evidence we acquire, the stronger our case becomes. And knowing the Crimson Fleet, they'll leave plenty of evidence for you to find. You better make it, because Commander Akande cashed in all his chips to get this operation off the ground. I want data slates, computer downloads, handwritten notes. Hell, I'll take anything if it'll get those bastards thrown into the brig. For the sake of the settled systems, I hope you're right. That minor skirmish you had with them on Vectera was nothing compared to the death and destruction those pirates leave behind. If you've seen what I've seen, you'd understand why I'm pushing you so hard. Then you'll understand why it's so important that this operation is successful. Anyway, before I let you go, there's just one more thing. Commander Akande has authorized a credit disbursement for each piece of evidence that you return, as compensation for your efforts. Well, that's just it. You're not career military, are you? And speaking frankly, you're completely out of pocket during this operation. You'll be paying for your own supplies and other unexpected incidentals. So, if I were you, I'd stop asking questions and accept the compensation. It's not generous, it's motivational. Commander Akande's idea. All right, we've loaded a container of Aurora into your ship's cargo hold. We're also providing you with a sample you can use to tease the goods. We've cleared your ship for launch. Proceed to Sidonia. Make contact with Saoirse Bowden. And with any luck, she'll point you to the Crimson Fleet. That should do it. You're dismissed. Not really, no. I've learned to keep my personal experiences separate from the job. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate that you care. It's just that I don't feel like now's an appropriate time to be discussing these things. Let's just stick to the job at hand and concentrate on the mission. But, maybe we can talk about it some other time, okay? We'll be keeping them close at hand until this operation is complete. So, we'll be holding them in the Vigilance's brig. If you're feeling particularly ruthless, you could always head down there and say hello. I'm sure they'll be thrilled to see you. Don't worry, the container's been registered with UC Security, so you shouldn't have any trouble. Even if you're scanned. Of course, if we find out you tried to sell it to someone outside the boundaries of this particular operation, well, I don't think I need to tell you the consequences of making that mistake. I'll be here if you have any more questions.
Yes? Howdy.
I don't know about you. That isn't it. We've got plenty of green pilots picked right from the academy. But yours happen to come from a different farm. Vanguard. But if Commander Ikande says you're SysDef, then you are one of us. For now. You guessed it. In fact, I'd say you've got what linguistic experts call FOGO, a firm grasp of the obvious. But I'm not just any pilot. I'm the best. and I've got the kills to prove it. You got some set of manners, kid. The fleet are gonna eat you up. Long story. I got my start in the Academy and made a name for myself hunting the Crimson Fleet. I eventually got recruited to do test flights on a star station orbiting Lloyden's Rock. Me and 3 other Archangel pilots did some work on some extremely dangerous prototypes. But I called in a few favors and got back home with Sysdef. Someone with my talents needs to be here, where the action is. I cut my teeth on space trucks, believe it or not. Before I got my stripes, I was just another cargo hauler trying to earn an honest wage. But after a couple slick escapes, I got recruited to the Academy and went from dodging pirates to hunting them. Thing is, some of my best tricks were with a big rig. Ever try a pitchback with a Hope Tech truck with 2 fleet wraiths on your tail? Compared to that, doing it with a military fighter is a piece of cake. Later, Gator.
Hey,
Hello.
Captain, greetings.
Corco, that room of yours better be clean next time I go in there.
I'll get to it, Dad. I promise.
This ain't my getting around to it tone, you understand?
Fine, okay. I'm going.
Exchange is a great place to buy.
If you're here to buy or sell, you might want to talk to Octai. I'm busy. And by sensitive, I'm guessing you mean something you don't want UC security sticking their noses into. I can probably help you with that. What have you got for me? Aurora, huh? Nice. A little too hot to handle, though. What else you got?
If the Trade Authority is not interested, that says a great deal.
All I'm going to point at is the ceiling, with my middle finger. Get that stuff out of here before UC security catches on. Of course, if there's a finder's fee you're offering, I might, well, bend the rules a little bit. You got a point there, love. All right, I'll take a chance.
Just demand the extra credits up front next time. These games are juvenile and tiresome.
There's a buddy of mine who runs with the Crimson Fleet. Goes by the name Adler Kemp. If he isn't passed out, you can find him killing the rest of his brain cells at the Broken Spear. Oh, and it's been a pleasure doing business with you. Oh, hello.
Take your time. And ask me if you need anything.
Hey, it's my personal savior. Thanks again for the assist. Hey, good to see you again. Still think there might be room for me on your crew? Okay, I'm game. I could use a break from the Sol system. Give me a few to get my things together, then I'll get to work. See you in the space lanes, Captain.
So we'd struck oil, but it turns out it was just another deep water deposit. Wow. Excuse me?
Hello, traveler. Will you join me for a while? You strike me as someone with an interesting story. Call it scholar's intuition. Meeting a kindly stranger is always a blessing. What brings you to Sidonia? Oh, you're a captain. I'm a traveler myself. I've spent years in the space lanes conducting research for a book I intend to write. I envy you the company of others on your voyages through the Starfield. I hope the Blackest Sea has been kind to you and your crew. Would you? I've never worked on a crew before, but the idea does appeal to me. The older I get, the lonelier the void seems. Are you willing to pay? I dislike taking money from friends, but I'll need some credits to stow my ship at Sidonia's spaceport. I'll work to make it up to you, naturally. Let me think about it. Don't think I'm desperate or anything, but you do have a point. All right, I'll do it. I can pay the rest of the fees out of pocket. Then we have an accord. Thank you for the offer. I need to speak to someone at the spaceport about stowing my ship. We'll see each other again soon.
I know the Deimos employees here on Mars think I'm overbearing. But what they don't know is that I've saved this operation from being shut down. Deimos Star Yards may be the first major ship manufacturer. Have a good day.
Unless you're a Deimos employee, I can't...
God damn it! Oh gosh, I'm so sorry. That wasn't directed at you at all. I'm just really stressed out at the moment. You're fine. Actually, maybe you can help me? I'm aware of what you did for Trevor. Don't worry, I'm not gonna say anything to Peter. I feel like I can trust you. I'm Gilly. I'm a psychologist working for Deimos, and I've been utterly swamped with work lately, trying to make a deadline. I could use a hand tracking down some of our employees and delivering psychological questionnaires to them.
It seems our assistance could be useful, provided it does not in some way violate confidentiality or potentially taint the results.
It's not as sinister as you think. Basically, Deimos invests heavily in its employees and operations. In order to protect those investments, I was hired to perform periodic psychological evaluations. The company wants to identify potential erratic behavior patterns that might jeopardize the company's investments, and work with their employees to correct them. You can? Oh, wow, thanks. I don't even know who I've got left in this stack, but take a look at the names and track them down. When they've all filled out the forms, just bring them back to me and I'll go through them. Just tell them you're assisting Gilly. Oh, and don't read what they write down. It's supposed to be confidential. Thanks again.
I've warmed up to Mars since I came here.
I haven't had a day off in 3 years, and I wrote the damn time off policy. I think you and I both know you're not on the payroll anymore. Anyway, no harm done. Just have to wait for more applicants to come on.
Hello. Mars is ripe with resources, which means there's always going to be plenty of work.
Hi there, friend.
Yes? What?
Been in the Vanguard a long time. The faces change, but bad guys are still bad guys, you know.
Oh, hello there, friend. Have you been there long? What? Oh, heavens no. These bags under my eyes are just... how I look? Okay, you got me. I am pretty tired. But I can do this. But, oh my, I've forgotten my manners. Phil Hill, at your service. Yes, it rhymes. My parents had a thing about rhyming. My siblings are named Bill, Jill, and Sil. The Hills. What a thrill. But there I go again. You aren't here to talk about me. You're here to talk about List.
List. Is this something of importance?
You know, silly. List. The League of Independent Settlers? Do I detect a glint of recognition in your eyes? I think so. How can I help make today your very best day? why, we help people. We get folks set up and able to start new lives in new places, free of governmental interference. We survey the stars, find suitable places matching people's needs, and get folks started with the essentials. I don't suppose you have a ship? Interested in earning some easy credits? That's terrific, because I have a lot of work needing doing. This stack of papers here, these are just the most recent applicants looking for new worlds to settle on. Everywhere I go, people are really excited about the prospects of living a truly free life, living where and how they want to. I've got a cargo hold full of stacks just like that. Oh boy.
Out of the question, I do not do paperwork.
Unfortunately, this paperwork is my responsibility only. As much as I'd appreciate help, I wouldn't make you do any. Used to have an office on Aquila, but, you know, budget cuts. But it turned out for the best. Now they send me all over settled space where I can interface directly with the people. I'm a people person, as you can probably already tell. Fantastic! That's exactly the can-do, helpful attitude that List looks for in all its employees and contractors. We're looking for folks with ships and/or basic people skills to seek out suitable planets and leads on potential clients. I don't suppose you possess either of those qualifications? Oh yes, I can tell. Speaking with you has been an absolute thrill. I was charmed the moment you opened your mouth. That sounded creepy. Oh, but regarding List, most importantly, we need to collect data on habitable planets. The more habitable, the better. You know, that oxygen and water are musts. Other signs of life, even better. Secondly, we're always looking for new applicants. So, as you travel around meeting people, when the occasion arises, see if you can interest them in signing up for the list. I'm pretty sure I overheard some people in here talking about wanting to start a new life. Why don't you start with them? I am glad you asked. List provides members with a few tangible benefits and a few intangible ones. First off, we locate an ideal location matching the needs and desires of our members. After that, we provide transportation, as well as a starter set including basic hab modules, extractors, and seeds for farming, etc. Everything needed to get off to a good start. And we set up a small encrypted satellite to aid communication between distant neighbors and the rare List ship that swings by the sector to offer aid and trade supplies if desired. But more importantly, List provides its members the satisfaction of living on their own and on their own terms, independent and free from harassment and governmental interference. Bring any suitable planet survey data slates to me, and I'll happily pay you for them. And you'll also earn an immediate commission for each interested party who signs up for the list. So get on out there and make truly independent living a dream come true, and turn a few credits while you're at it. Excellent. Thank you for any assistance you can lend us. Whoops, nearly forgot. Take this.
Hope the Black Sea is treating you all right.
Excuse me?
A friend offered me a nice cushy office job, but I'm making double out here in the Sidonia mines.
I can't believe Deimos has a psychologist instead.
Got to be more to life than
What's up with that?
This. What you need is a change of scenery.
Let me know if you need something.
Unless you're here to serve me another drink, you can turn around and walk away. Hey, why don't you say that a little louder? I don't think every single UC guard in Sidonia heard you.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think we can help you with this. If you've got a whole shipment of this stuff, you're going to need to move it fast. But you're going to have to do something for us first.
You're a clever one, aren't you? Let's just say I have a certain influential affiliation. And leave it at that. Basically, you want that Aurora moved, I'm your guy. Pipe down! What the hell's the matter with you? You want to get us both thrown into lockup? Look, I don't know what that big-mouth Saoirse told you, but I keep who I run with a secret in public. And I suggest you do the same. Now, do you want my help moving your product, or not? Right down to business! And no small talk. I like it.
I see no good reason why we should have any extra dealings with the likes of you.
Lady, if you want me to move that shipment for your pal here, you're going to do whatever the hell I want. You got that? Now listen up, because I'm not going to repeat myself. I need you to deal with a miner who's racked up a bunch of debt. He probably spent it all on booze, not that I blame him. Either way, I want that money back. What do I need to do here? Write you an instruction manual? You can do this loud, you can do this quiet. I don't care. I just want my goddamn money, and I want this guy to remember who he screwed over. Perfect. His name's Carl Fielding. I think you'll find him wandering around the Deimos miners' quarters. Don't worry, you can't miss him. Just look for the most miserable-looking guy in the entire place.
Sometimes I wish I'd taken an easier job.
All are welcome here. Enlighten your now.
Something I can help you with? Adler Kemp. Who the heck is that? Adler, you said? Nope. I think you have me mixed up with someone else. Look, I'm tired. It's been a long day in the mines. I just want to go home, wash off the dust, and relax. This has been fun, though. Whatever. Adler, oh, wait, you mean that Adler? Yeah, sorry. I thought you were talking about someone else. I told him I'd pay up next week when Deimos cuts our next profit share check. I'll even bring it to him personally. Sound good? Yeah? Well, I mean, he doesn't really have a choice. Look, I haven't got a single credit to spare right now. Okay? You can't squeeze blood from a stone. You know? Right?
Clearly this man has never seen how hard I can squeeze.
What games? Why are you doing this to me? I don't have the money. Sure, I guess I could ask for a 7-day shift. I don't know. Why the hell would I deplete my savings? To pay off a thug like Adler Kemp? Come on! I suppose. It's just that, well, I didn't have much of a choice. Please, tell Adler I'm sorry for trying to wiggle out of the debt. I didn't have much of a choice.
Yes? We have the tech to instantly jump across the universe. These people invented a way to keep the box on loose.
Have something for me? There, would you look at that? I knew that bum was holding out on me. He going to be a problem anymore? Or did he get the message? Nice, nice. You're kind of a natural at this. Leaning on deadbeats comes easy to you. I like that. You know, if you like this kind of work, I can get you more. A lot more. You think you can handle running with my, associates? I'm interested? Come on. You're not shopping for real estate here. I'm offering you a crack at some real money. So can you handle it or what? That's what I'm talking about. I like your style. All right. I'll call ahead and get a hold of Nevamora. She's second to the big boss himself. Head out to Europa. You'll find her there. I suggest you listen to whatever she has to say. Oh, and I've taken care of that Aurora shipment for you too. Don't spend all that cash in one place.
I would like a chance to talk to you, if you are able. I wanted to thank you for giving me the chance to work with you. I know we met under, unusual circumstances. You seem to be acclimating well to Constellation. Are you enjoying working with them? I think none of us were expecting what we have found. Well, perhaps Matteo. You have certainly become a vital part of the organization. That is a credit to your abilities. If I may, from what you have seen, do you think I fit in well with the rest of Constellation? I cannot tell if that is a compliment or an attempt to avoid the question. I will assume the former. I have a very different background from the rest of Constellation. I carry myself differently. I worry that some of the others are unable to see past this. I have not shared much, but everyone knows I worked with smugglers for years. I am no stranger to violence and death. I know. For those that have not lived it, it can be difficult to imagine or accept. Others here have seen conflict, but for more noble causes. Vladimir is the only one here who can begin to understand. He was the one who pressed the group to include me. I lack his charm. He puts others at ease. I fear my presence does the opposite. That is kind of you. You also have a lot going. I find expressing affection difficult, but truly. Thank you. I know this seems trivial, perhaps childish. I have just always relied only on myself. I have never been surrounded by people like this. By a group I wish to be a part of. Does that make sense?
What you need is a change of scenery.
Thank you. That is reassuring. Discussing these things is challenging for me. I hope now you can better understand why I wanted to keep the circumstances of our meeting quiet. I wanted to thank you for not saying anything to Vladimir. I know that you said you wouldn't, but it is still a relief. I would like my contributions to Constellation to amount to more than violence. Indeed it was. And now I hope you can see why. Thank you for talking this over with me. It is good to know that at least one member of Constellation understands me.
I sure hope this hearing loss isn't permanent.